Howdy, Chuck.
How you doing, Roger?
It's a great pleasure for me to always have Chuck Loeb in my workshop. And Chuck's just released his new CD. What's the name of it, Chuck?
The CD is called Unspoken.
Unspoken. And this is a Chuck Loeb solo CD,
Yes.
not a four-play CD.
Number 18.
Okay. 18th CD, solo CD, wow. And simultaneous with the release of this CD, we're releasing your new signature model, which we've been working on for a while now.
Look at that beauty.
And I'm very pleased with what we've done here, and I thought we would talk a little bit about
Let's
what
do that.
you and I have done together over the years that culminated in this instrument.
It's a long time in the making, and
Yeah.
a lot of thought and a lot of experience has gone into it. Yeah.
So you've been playing my single hum Strat style guitar for quite a few years now.
Yes.
And over time we have modified it and tweaked it to your preferences. And this instrument now is the culmination of all of those little tweaks.
Right.
So why don't we start with the basics. This instrument is part of our Broadway line, and which is our new body shape, all right. And what we've done special for you is, first of all, on the electronics end, we've developed a new set of pickups just for you to retain everything we want out of humbuckers, but to also give you as best a single coil sound as possible. Exactly. When you switch to single coil. So as we do in all of our guitars, in the 5-way, on positions 2 and 4, the humbuckers are automatically splitting the single coil and combining with the true single coil in the middle.
Right.
But what we've done, especially on your model, is we've added a master coil cut switch, so that when you want single coil in the neck humbucker alone or the bridge humbucker alone, you can split them to single coil at the flick of that switch.
Which was something I've been looking for.
Right. We've been working on that. We first got these pickups into your hands, I guess, about a year ago,
Yeah.
into one of your other guitars, and it's really worked out. So
Right. Yeah.
this is yours. The other
It gives me a lot of different options sonically, which is, doing studio work and doing gigs. When I go out and do gigs, my own gigs, it might be a certain thing that I need, but if I need something a little zingier, a little funkier, more stratty, I have it now.
Yeah, well, that's where, I go back to my early days in New York when I was dealing with you and all the other session cats, as we used
Right.
to refer to them, is that we don't have cartage in New York the way guys in LA did. So they could go to a session with cartage company would bring 8 instruments.
They'd have something like this.
Exactly. And the New York guys just had to deal with whatever they could get on the subway for the most part.
Right.
So concentrating on doing stuff with maximum versatility and yet with a minimum number of knobs and switches was always my goal.
And I'll say something, because the origination of that concept is a guy having to go from session to session to session in Midtown Manhattan all day, and you don't want to be carrying, there's not
Exactly.
There wasn't even time to get a cartage company to go from a jingle at 10 to another one at 11:30. So
Right.
so you'd have to kind of be able to do as much as you could with one act. And also you get called and say, session tomorrow, acoustic, electric, and mandolin or something like, and then, or you already have like 2 guitars on your shoulder, pedal board and all that. So, but in this day and age, there's a new reason for this, which is a lot of us now are on the road all the time. And you just don't have the luxury of having, to be able to bring 2 or 3 guitars to Detroit one day, and then the next day you're in Charleston, and that's what last weekend was for me. So having a guitar this versatile is paramount. It's really, really important. So that's
Great.
That's
So the other thing we did for you that I remember was always unique was the smooth jazz switch. And so what we have here is, in addition to your regular tone control, we have a push-pull pot, and when you pull up, it defaults to a tone setting that is preset by a trim pot on the control.
Right. So it goes to a certain setting on the tone control, and you can set that here with a little screwdriver. And you know, and it's very useful when you're, for example, for me, I do a lot of stuff that's kind of a jazzy sound. That's kind of my sound. So when I'm want a single line thing, I'm going to put this, I'll add one more thing to it, which is I'm going to put this mid-range boost on. It's got that dark jazzy sound that I'm always looking for, but if I have to go back to comping in a different kind of way, all the brightness comes back immediately, instead of like fishing around trying to find that sweet spot on the guitar.
Absolutely.
And that's been on my other guitars, and you know, now it's kind of a refined setup with that.
Good, good. And then lastly, we just have our normal
I have it in
guitar
right now.
preamp. So we have a total true bypass, a mid boost with a trim pot to adjust on the back, and an extra gain boost, which we think of setting at a level just to kick in when you're taking a solo.
Right, a little bit of extra juice, like a booster pedal.
Okay, now the other thing that we always did special for you is I always reshaped all of your necks thinner than our normal thickness. So this neck was custom made for your thickness. It's our standard 1 5/8 inch nut width. And wood-wise, we have a beautiful maple top on an alder body and an ebony fingerboard with a maple neck.
And Fender scale neck.
Yeah, long scale, 25
Which
and a half.
is my preference.
And I always found that scale length was what worked best for versatility.
Yeah.
That you can make a long scale sound kind of Gibson-y, but it's really hard to make a Gibson scale sound
Go the other way.
like a Strat.
Yeah.
You know. And then the one last thing is to explain to people why you don't have a Strat button up.
Yeah, this is something that I got via Steve Kahn, great guitar player. But it originally came to him from Bill Connors, a guitar player, the original guitar player in Return to Forever, a great guitar player. And basically, when the strap is here, the guitar is angling away from your body more. You can see that it just naturally happens, you know, if it was really like that. When you put it back here, it automatically settles back about an inch or two closer to your body, so there's more of a straight line and you're more even with the guitar. And I'm completely addicted to it at this point. And you know, it's just become part of what my setup. And it's funny, if I have to play a guitar that has the strap lock up here, it really feels funny to me now, even though that's what I grew up playing.
Okay, so we've covered everything that makes this model the Chuck Loeb model.
Yep. And it does have a whammy bar, which I'm addicted to.
It does have a whammy.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that, again, I think our relationship goes back 36, 37 years now.
Yeah, that's right.
And I can't even remember how long you've been endorsing our instruments now, but
I think it's going on, if I got this right, I think it's going on almost 20.
I was going to guess 20.
Yeah.
And I just have to say it's been a wonderful ride with you. I love everything you've been doing. The foreplay gig was a feather in your cap. And I mean, to be right up there with Rittenauer and Carlton and you, I mean, that just puts you guys on a level that few people can ever be at. And just watching your constant prolificness with your music and with Carmen's music and with foreplay, I'm just really thrilled to have you in our family.